Male predators, that's the topic of the day. There's a lot of them out there. 13 corrections officers were arrested in Nebraska the year I tried telling on the officers in there for assaulting me physically. One of those physical assaults was also sexual and intentional. See, that's what officers do when you try to turn on them, they retaliate. The only way to prevent them from retaliating against you is to have a friend or family member present. There's a lot of people who, thank goodness for me, I recorded them. A lot of people assumed that because it wasn't recorded and on the internet, that it wasn't recorded at all. That was stupid. How many how many days did it take me to dig out the stuff with Zach? Not very many. He flipped his shit like 3 days later. Fucking completely goddamn flipped his lid. His sister let me know that he was on fucking meth. I'm like, alright, well, that makes fucking sense. Riley Johnson, he typed to me about how he was in a hospital. For what? It's called alcoholism. But then again, the things that he was saying to me and expecting and demanding, he wanted me to call him every day. He said that would make him feel better. So I called him every day. Now he's sending me all these pictures from all these different beaches that he's visiting, and he's making live videos from these places. Meanwhile, he wanted me to get a hold of him every day. Well, I tried. He only ever got a hold of me when he was super drunk and feeling sorry for himself. When did people actually make the time for me? When they were super drunk, feeling sorry for themselves, and nobody else would fucking listen to them. They didn't talk to me about anything that I could actually do anything about. They were sad and distraught about things that happened 20 years ago, or people who committed suicide, and you know what? The thing is that those people pushed people to commit suicide. Riley Johnson, he was definitely a witness to the situation. When I said people were making multiple accounts to fucking harass me, including using my friends' names to do it, I fucking meant it. Everyone from Rhonda Knudsen Rust to Marie Long to Jerry Sparks to I don't even know who else. And then there's all the fake accounts, people who don't actually exist. It's a fake account. It's somebody pretending to be somebody else, like the Layla Johnson, aka Layla Dunan, aka Missy Johnson. Like, holy shit, the fucking nut jobs that I had to deal with. And then I'm told that I chose it. I'm told that I chose for all of these people to get onto my fucking Facebook who hated me over fucking slander, assumed that I fucking killed somebody. What I needed help with for an entire fucking year before Natalie was killed was turning in the fact that I was being abused over fucking lies. There's a lot of people that I went to beforehand that were supposed to be professionals. I was told that if I jumped through this hoop or I jumped through that hoop, well, I jumped through those fucking hoops. Nothing fucking happened. Then there's Ed Simmons, heroin addict. He gave that shit up. That's Christine Buheit's ex. He gave that shit up. You know why he found out that his son's mother was dead? I had to get a hold of him. I only got a hold of him because people were accusing me of killing her. Nobody killed her. She fucking overdosed on fentanyl. But whatever. Anyway, Ed was trying to find out, and I was trying to find out. This is a woman who is very, very much involved in the situation. Ed Simmons, he was very much involved with the situation. Zach Richmond, he was very much involved with the situation because not just him, but his family were very heavily involved in the situation. places that I had to stay, and I didn't have the ability to record it. That sucked for me because these places were volatile. Later on, a lot of people want to throw it in my face that people offered me help. They offered me help that I couldn't take. And they expected me. Let's imagine you got 10 different people. You need help turning in people who are threatening to kill you. And you have 10 different people. You're disabled, and they all want you to get a job. Or, of course, Ed Simmons, right? For example, when I planned that trip to Virginia, I planned to go see a lot of different people. When did Ed Simmons finally come forward about it? On a public post when he was angry at me for telling the truth. You think that if you ignore your problems, they'll go away, and that is not the reality. Fake it till you make it, you say. That's not the same thing, is it? When you are a disabled and at-risk adult, there is only one defense that you have, and that's to go to your friends and family, and if they don't care, that's it. You just have to take the abuse. Sure, there's laws and there's places that are supposed to do something about this, but they blow you off because you're a male. There's these services now that are supposed to, because they accept tax dollars, they're supposed to be for men and women. The problem is that you get a woman who's working there who assumes that all men are predators, and she is not going to treat you the same. She's not going to help you the same. She's not going to assist you with the things that you need assistance with. See, one of the things that I had to deal with was many of these places that I was sent to, having to go to them alone, having to tell them what was going on, having to tell them about the people that were involved, the fact that I tried to get help and was abused for trying to get help. When did Riley Johnson finally come forward, at least a little bit? Well, on his way out the door. Before that, everything was about him only when he was drunk. It's the only time he'd get in contact with me. I had a conversation with him when I was at Shannon Alvarado's. He was drunk and feeling sorry for himself. People were victimizing me to the point that I wanted my life to end. What I needed was a friend or family member who cared. And over again, saying they're sorry. Yes, sure you're sorry. Well, I accept changed behaviors. Your sorry is not accepted if you don't change your behaviors. You're sorry you're a bad friend, well then be a good friend. Be a friend or family member and help me to turn it in. When you ignore it for years, literally every single time that I'm abused, you ignore it. You tell me to do it myself, knowing that I will be abused if I go in myself. Knowing that I will be blown off, knowing that protocol will not be followed, and I have no defense against it because I have to what? I have to try to record everything. I have to try to do my public pretender's job. They won't do their jobs, but then again, I'm not allowed to take part in my own defense. They want to pretend that I'm crazy to prevent me from taking part in my own defense or showing evidence or requisitioning evidence or getting body cameras. They want to work together across multiple jurisdictions to gaslight me, to send me to, what did Amanda Jonas do? What did she do when I tried to turn her in? Oh yeah, she got assigned to her own case. And then she went on vacation for a few days, apparently. And then after her vacation, well, she set it up so that I could turn in my predators. Well, I knew her only by name. When I got there and realized that she was one of the people I was trying to turn in, and that there was a bunch of agencies there to speak with me, and that Miss Peaches had abandoned me yet again. She just kept on doing that, saying that she would help me, that she would go to these places. And then when we got there, she would abandon me again. I needed her to be there for my safety. My predators got away with harming me because they knew it would be easy. to care, but you're all sexist. Nobody cares how much hell another human being goes through, and that's why you deserve to go through it. Don't come to me about your problems if you're not willing to speak up. Don't come to me about your problems anymore. With Riley, with him being a witness to the fact that I did come to him about these fake accounts, these fake profiles. But the other thing is getting someone to sit next to me and look at it and fucking verify it. That's what I need someone to do. It takes me forever to try to do all of this stuff electronically over and over and over and over and over again. It takes too long. I need people to verify that I'm telling the truth. That means they need to sit down and they need to look and they need to listen. Nobody does that. Even when they claim they're listening, if you quiz them afterwards, they don't know shit. Meanwhile, what are they supposed to do as a friend or family member? I followed the protocols. I'm the only one who did. When that didn't work, I had to do desperate things because my friends and family didn't care. That is not the same as me not trying to help. Any effort that they made no fucking difference because they didn't try to help turn it in. You have to have record that you made the attempt. And if they lie to you or threaten or intimidate you into not turning in a report, telling you that you're not allowed or anything of that nature when it comes to an at-risk and disabled adult who is being abused, then you need to record it. With all these people telling me that they did these things, but me not being allowed access to the evidence, that is what makes it hearsay. The fact that I had to say that you told me these things instead of you coming forward and admitting it to me or to the courts. My predators were allowed to pretend whatever the fuck they wanted. They did not need any evidence whatsoever of anything, and you helped them to get away with it for years. And then, of course, there's the recording with Marcia Estrada. No, I'm not fucking schizophrenic. And she says I'm not schizophrenic. She says I do have PTSD. She says I am not psychotic. Now, what is the difference between that and me being sent through the system? Because when I was sent through the system, it was to gain access to my evidence and prevent me from turning it in. Prevent me from showing anyone else. That is what all of this did. You cannot cut me off from those services and say I denied them. You offering me something does not mean that I am capable of doing that something. These people saying that I don't know anything about their lives. No, I know a lot about their lives. Whenever I reached out to them for help, they wouldn't shut up about their lives. People telling me to move here and move there. Look at what fucking happens when I have to trust a goddamn addict. No, I could not trust Christine Buhit. She was an addict. No, I could not trust Maddie Boa. She was a fucking addict. Ed Simmons, heroin addict. Natalie Bollinger, heroin addict. Teresa Orr, an alcoholic. Brett Roloff, meth addict. Rose M. Kelly, alcoholic and drug addict. K. Slayton Morse, meth addict. Shannon Alvarado, alcoholic. Zach Richmond, meth addict. Dallas Richmond, alcoholic. These are the people that I had to rely on because I didn't have real friends or family. I didn't have sober friends or family. When you're different, people don't accept you. You're not a human being. You're the, oh, I'm sorry, you're their pity case that they talk to once in a while. Oh yeah, sure, we'll be friends on Facebook. Why the fuck did these people send me Facebook friend requests? We're not actual friends. We don't actually do friend shit like they do with their real friends. When you ignore your friend, when they come to you for help because they're being abused, no, you're not their friend. See, when I said that I was harassed and people made multiple accounts, that I did, in fact, reach out to people about these multiple fucking accounts, getting a hold of me, fucking harassing me, using my friends and family members' fucking names. How is that fucking okay? Ed Simmons admitted that, yeah, he did offer to let me stay there a few days. That I did plan the trip and plan on seeing him. Obviously. Yeah, that was when I apparently drove 1,700 miles to stalk Natalie. No, it wasn't just for Natalie. But these people didn't care for the last 7 years what the hell people did. Almost 8 years. I mean, this shit going all the way back to 2015. When I hurt my back in October of 2015, that's when everything really went to hell. That was over a situation where I had busted my ass. I finally, for the first time ever, had myself a shop and I had machinery and I could make something beautiful to make the world a better place. And Josh Hughes fucked me out of it, and there was a lot of people that were involved. A lot of people that knew about it. And all they ever say is, let it go, let it go, let it go. That is why we are at risk. It's because people always tell us when we're victimized to let it go. Everybody knows that they can do it, so they just repeatedly do it. Our friends tell us to let it go. Some piddly thing happens to them, and it's the end of the world, but these things happen to us over and over and over because we don't have a friend or family member who cares. We can't go for help like they can. And then they treat us like we're bad people for going to them for help. And then they treat us like shit because they have family. When you promise you're going to help somebody, you need to fucking help them, not overwhelm them. When somebody is in a state of fucking crisis, you need to do everything that you can to make them feel safe, not unsafe. None of these people understand how much worse this is. Zaid Atkinson didn't care, did he? Sammy Leon Lawrence IV was in contact with me long enough to be a fucking racist, goddamn piece of shit. To expect me to understand his disabilities, but he made no effort to understand mine. You get to see in the courts how the rules for my predators were different than they were for me because I had to go in alone. My predators didn't. My predators pretend that I would hurt them. And their friends come and actually hurt me. And when I try to get help stopping that fucking harm, they get to play like I'm a fucking predator? Are you fucking kidding me? But at least Ed Simmons did admit that we had planned the trip. At least he admitted that I didn't make it. He also showed that between admitting that, the easiest goddamn thing in the world to admit, yes, Sean was going to come visit me in October of 2016. He wasn't able to make it. Instead, what did he do? He fucking threw it at me on his way out the door, too. Wanted to throw a big goddamn tantrum. All this shit, all this, oh, well, you know, we all have our own lives. Yeah, I'm well aware. I'm well aware you have your own lives. You've been ignoring me for 6 years. We're not friends. The fact that you have allowed people to harm me for 6 years over a false narrative, this narrative that I had stalked Natalie to Virginia, this is just about Natalie. No, this is about the abuse that I endured, including neglect. Because I told the truth about how I was going to see you. I was going to visit you, Ed Simmons. That trip wasn't just about Natalie. When she tried to fucking commit suicide, that changed things. But instead of you trying to understand, you wanted to be a selfish fucking prick. You're a goddamn addict, Ed Simmons. Your ex is fucking dead because she was a junkie just like you. You don't give a fuck who hurts me. You only care about yourself. You want to hide behind your son? Well, you don't get to do that, motherfucker. Why did your son go so long without you in his life? Why? It's because you were out fucking around with Christine Bouhit. Then he tells me about Christine Bouhit and how she tried to falsely accuse him of rape one time. Right? Christine Bouhit's still alive at this point, and she's already fucked me over completely. I shouldn't have had to go to fucking drug addicts. I should have had a real friend. Even though I don't do drugs. The only friends that I had were drug addicts because none of the rest of you accept me. It's pretty fucking words. I try to tell you about the abuse, but you're too busy and you walk away. It shows the bias. It shows that people do not care. When you are being fucking assaulted and they won't even fucking hear it because they're too busy talking over you and talking about themselves and yelling at you because you can't take their fucking advice. You don't have the fucking ability. But instead, they want to throw it in your face years later when they wanted to defer. When they wanted to not listen to what you're going through and try to offer up a million solutions that do not apply to your situation. What do you want to offer a job that I can't take? Or you want to tell me that I should go somewhere for your fucking help? But you're wishy-washy about every goddamn thing. What, you want me to fucking move there when you can't even admit that I went to you for fucking help? Are you fucking kidding me? You want me to invest in moving halfway across the fucking country over somebody that can't even admit I went to them for help, you piece of shit? You're a dumbass. Then there's Zach Richmond. He's got this fucking delusion in his head that his delusional schizophrenic ass is gonna defend me in court. But then he needs a mental health day, right? And I say, hey, here's the thing. If I take a mental health day, I get treated like I'm not trying. Now, I'm not treating you the way that you treated me. I'm not treating you the way that others treated me. Instead of treating them that way, I'm allowing you to have a mental health day. Instead of kicking you while you're down, which is what people did to me. When I tried to get away from the abuse, I was abused for trying to get away from it. Dallas Richmond's alcoholism is scary as fuck. Harley Richmond's alcoholism is scary as fuck. Like, wouldn't it be nice if one of these people had been fucking sober? The advocate I got now is the first person that I've had to be an advocate that has been fucking sober, to my understanding. I don't know Megan Misegatis. I never met Megan Misegatis. I just have to believe whatever the fuck she says. When I go to these people for help, because these are the people I'm told to go to for help, and they never come forward about the fact that I'm going to them for help. I'm doing as instructed. Then the cops get to pretend that I didn't fucking try. When you don't help the victim turn it in, when they are called mentally ill, when you refuse to look at the fucking evidence, you're fucking them over severely. Later on, you're just going to say, oh, well, I didn't see it. You had me send you the evidence. Oh, yeah, but I couldn't look at it. It was on my phone and I told you that. No, you didn't. Matter of fact, you pretended to me that you'd seen it and you thought it was all horrible that I was treated that way and that you were going to help me to turn it in. And then you never tried. There was always some excuse. Then there's all these people who claim that they knew a police officer involved. Well, did you ever come forward about it, or were you fucking gaslighting me? The fact that I had to do it that way because police would not just simply sit down with me and take a look at the fucking evidence. Adult Protective Services would not just sit down with me and look at the evidence. They ask very pointed questions that they can try to use to make any excuse to change the fucking subject. So while you're trying to answer all of these completely off-the-wall fucking questions, like, hey, can we focus on why you're supposed to be here? Tara Smith of Adult Protective Services. Why were you there in 2018 to see me? Why do I have you recorded in 2019, 2020, admitting that that event happened? But you can't remember it. And you tell me it's going to take an act of God to get that. Why did you never investigate? Why did you go out of your way not to collect or look at any evidence? Why was I repeatedly forced to go to drug addicts? Because I did not have the technical ability to show these things. Why was I repeatedly having to go to drug addicts for help, and alcoholics for help, and internet nut jobs for help? Why was Natalie Bollinger's family allowed the access that they were allowed to both before and after her death? Why were they allowed to continually harass me with them and their internet friends? Why did they get to pose as police officers and autism advocates? And then the very people who did that get to slander me in court and I'm not allowed to speak up. Why is it that I have to go to alcoholics like Shannon Alvarado, who had actual evidence but never tried to turn it in? Why did Kara Johnson Miles get away with the crimes that she committed? Because Shannon Alvarado never came forward to the public or to the fucking cops. She never, literally never made any effort to turn it in with me. She was too busy getting drunk. Just like Brett Roloff was too busy getting fucked up on meth, or digging through his own shit to find a bag of meth he swallowed. Yes, that's recorded on my channel, as well as multiple situations of meth use. People with heroin needles hanging out of their fucking arm at a bus stop. Brett Roloff's girlfriend and her friend sitting at the kitchen table smoking meth. The meth they left at the fucking house when they left there. Who paid for me to get there? Brandon Ratner. Did Brandon Ratner ever come forward about that? No, he didn't. I had to fucking record him and put it on fucking YouTube. It's not that I didn't tell the truth. It's that my friends that I went to for help never tried to come forward and tell the truth. Instead, they wanted to argue that it wouldn't make any difference. No, it absolutely makes a difference. If you don't come forward, these people keep hurting me. And the only recourse that I have is to show that you're pieces of shit and break the fucking law in the hopes that I can force this evidence into the hands of people who actually are supposed to do something about it. Having to go in alone results only in abuse, Brandon Ratner. Now then there's the situation with my new advocate. I mean, she's got trauma of her own and it shuts her down. She won't look at evidence because it shuts her down. She says she doesn't need to look at the evidence. She believes me. No. I need you to actually advocate for me. When they start talking up and over me and start selling their own narrative over me and start writing their own narrative over me, I need a witness there and fucking present who can speak up to the fact that it's fucking bullshit. They did everything that they could to help my predators get away. Now this lady, she's done a lot of nice things for me. Some of these things are actually good things, but she doesn't understand that if she's going to keep having panic attacks that prevent her from doing the things that she's offering to do and saying she's going to do, then it's going to make it very difficult. If she doesn't know what evidence is in there, she's going to get walked over and talked over. If she doesn't know what the laws are, they're just going to play fucking head games like they have been. That's the problem, is that she needs to understand we need to get on it about making these calls. I have to understand that she needs to take mental health days. I don't get mental health days. Every moment that I am stuck in public, I am fucking petrified. I cannot function because I am afraid of getting kicked out, getting arrested, getting my shit stolen, because I am stuck in a situation where I cannot afford to take care of myself. I cannot afford it because of long-term abuse. Now you get to see how these people that I went to for help, despite the fact that there's evidence that I went to them for help, they want to sell a false narrative afterwards, knowing that that evidence is there. All of these people, what they showed me is selfishness. They showed that they don't actually care about disabled people, especially not their own friends and family members as they wanted to claim. I did try to get help. My friends and family members took advantage of me for trying to get help. I needed someone to go in with me to turn this shit into the police. Instead, they kept doing shit to me that I needed to turn into the police. Meanwhile, I couldn't go to the police because the people that I was going to for help, turning it into the police, were busy assaulting me or fucking threatening to goddamn kill me because they were on fucking drugs and alcohol. Or they were friends with my fucking predators. You tell me to go to my friends and family for help. I fucking did. In those situations, you're asking me to go to people either A, with a history of fucking taking advantage of me, or B, you're asking me to go to people who don't want to take sides. It's a matter of popularity. They don't care who hurt who. They'll let you be their friend as long as you might have some benefit for them. But once there are consequences for them not being a friend, once somebody says, hey, you need to leave, you're not a friend. You did not come forward about these situations. And then these people, of course, the situations that made all the fucking difference in the world, on their way out the door, that's when they throw that shit at me, isn't it? Or like Zach Richmond, fucking strung out on goddamn drugs. Wanted to fucking throw a tantrum because I didn't do what he wanted right when he fucking wanted. And then you pretend I'm a bad person for posting it on the internet. And you get to see how his friends and family get involved in it. I called all these people out for a reason. The thing is, when you're an alcoholic, all you do is say the same thing over and over and over again. You don't let me finish what I'm saying, so you don't find out why what I'm telling you is fucking important. Ariana, if you tell me over 100 times that it's not going to do any good, you're not trying to help. What you're trying to do is threaten, harass, and intimidate me. That is a threat, harass, and intimidation tactic. You're literally trying to make your friend feel completely like shit for coming to you for help, when they are literally doing what it is that the lawyers told them to do, what it literally is that the law requires them to do when they are being abused, to go to a friend or family member first, so that we're not victimized. Our friend or family member is supposed to care about us enough to go in with us. They're supposed to care about us enough to listen to what's going on and help turn it in. It's just assumed that we have friends or family like that. No, our friends and family want to fucking talk nonstop about themselves. You're going to help me by what? Talking about yourself nonstop drunkenly and telling me that coming forward isn't going to work? Did I come to you for help? Yes, I did. And what did you do? You fucking argued with me. That's what you fucking did. You got drunk and you got stuck on fucking repeat. You got stuck on bitch mode. And then you want to do the poor me, poor me, poor me. I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you're a fucking alcoholic and your life sucks. No, your life sucks because you're a fucking alcoholic and a coward. Your life sucks because you only care about you. You're a fucking junkie, just like my mom, just like Alicia Bollinger, just like Maddie Boa, just like Teresa Orn, just like Shannon Alvarado. Yeah, you got pretty fucking words, but just like Riley fucking Johnson, aka Samurai, you're just another fucking addict who only cares about yourself.